Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the very first video. Right beside me we have my 2011 Cadillac CTS. This is Supreme Ignition. I'm Gabe, and let's jump into the very first nice car that I'm gonna upgrade. So underneath the hood we have a small engine. The only reason is I'll tell you the price I paid for this car and the average it goes for, and you can tell me if I got a good deal or not. I know I got a good deal, but this is what I do. This is a 3-liter V6. It has 270 horsepower and it has 223 pounds per foot of torque on the car. It currently only has 124,000 miles on it, which isn't bad. I bought it with about 6,000 less than that. But where I'm saying at right now, that's where it sits. The car doesn't run bad overall. I found it really reliable and really nice so far. For the most part, the only problem I have is like just acceleration stuff. It does fairly good. I can get up to about 0-60 in maybe about 7 seconds. It goes from 0 to 40 in about 3, but then it has like a lag and it takes another second or two for it actually kick in and actually get up to 60, which I do not like. But maybe we'll tune this car later on before I do any upgrades to it, and we'll see what a tune can do for it. But the engine's not bad. As you can see, it's a nice looking car. I paid a little less than $8,000 for it, and this car usually runs about $9,200. There's a couple of minor things wrong with it. A little bit of paint scratches over it, a little bit of wheel scratches where somebody hit the curb, and a little cleanup. I lost this piece on the way to a car show. Do not know how I lost it, and then I lost the middle cap to this one. Another way, I do not know, and they're supposed to be in there really tight, but this one here has stayed on. Excuse the dirty wheel. I know I got white shoes. And yeah, it's a really clean looking car. It gets about 20 miles per gallon. And I just bought this car recently. Pop the trunk and look at the cargo space on it. It's got a pretty nice trunk, fairly huge. You can fit a lot of stuff in it. The only thing bad is there's no spare tire, but I can go get one. The battery's right here in the back, which you pop it away and there's fuses, battery, and everything you need to jumpstart your car, which is really helpful. You break down the side of the highway, people pull it behind you. Every single car I've ever owned had the battery in the back, and that's a feature I really like. Moving on to the interior. The car has leather seats with some wood paneling. The wood I want to get rid of on the steering wheel and on the shifter, but we'll do that in a later video and we'll see how it comes out looking, guys. I hope it comes out looking really nice, but full leather all the way around, really clean. There's a couple problems with the door. Like I said, this is where I got that discount. This one's a little loose, and then on the other door panel, this one is a little bit apart, but maybe a couple $100. That's totally fine. I saved a little over $1,000 on this car, guys, so definitely worth the price. Backseat, nothing wrong, guys. That's the only problems with the car that I've had so far. This curb rash. Later video I'll show you how to correct it, and we will correct it good. For the most part though, no problem. Very clean, very nice. One other problem, this piece right here, but just a replacement piece is all I need. But the only thing I do not like I said, the engine again, but we will come around to the engine later in videos, and we'll take this thing up maybe with some more horsepower. I don't know what booster I want to use yet, or what boosters I can find for this car, but I have space down in the front, down here, and show right back, right in here. Mainly put a turbo or two behind these and open them up, put some custom pieces on it to make it look nice. But it's got a lot of support, like this bar here, and these side pieces are really well anchored on, so in event of an accident or something, you're really well protected, and it helps protect that engine, because you can't bend that unless you're Goliath, or Samsung. But here we go. This, see there, the rock can try to come bend it if he wants. But the interior is really nice, guys, really clean. No, it's not a manual. I wish it was a manual, but maybe that's something we can switch to later on updates on this car. But the steering wheel, shift knob, some more power to the engine, some interior pieces, maybe a little bit of some like suede on these seats or something to keep from sliding, because at the most part these seats aren't deep, so when you take curves and try to drift it, you slide a lot. But these back seats, I like these back seats. This here holds the passengers in place like I wish the front seats would, so they don't slide around a lot like you would in the front seats. But overall, it's a really nice car, guys. I really like this car, and there's a lot of other cars out there that you can find for well under the price of what they really retail for. And this was one of those cars. I was looking at other cars, this one popped up, and this is what I went with. Just at the moment, it's a 4-door. Insurance is cheap, which is something I really like, and the fact that I can get what I want out of this car, and then get the look I wanted out of this car with less than $8,000, and it's a really good saving, guys. It's starting to rain, so let's start up this car and let's test it out a little bit. So let's start it up and see how she sounds. So she sounds all right. She's got 7 dampers on the exhaust system. So once we get rid of those, which will be an upgrade, and we'll see how she sounds after that. Right now, currently, if you want to go to the back. That's how she sounds when revved. She does not go over 3,000 RPMs in park, but maybe with a tune or something, we can try to get it up a little bit more and get to a fun place where I can rev it against other cars. And maybe if we can get that exhaust straightened out and dual pipe it or something, we can find more sound that when I put more horsepower to it, there will be less restrictions to let freely flow through. So if you want to hop in the passenger seat, we'll take it for a quick drive. Alright guys, so I live on a back road, so we're going to get out of here, and once we hit the road, we will see how she is, and we'll show how the brakes go, how long it takes her to stop about right now, and we'll have some fun with her for a minute and just open her up and show you how long it takes to get up there. And about that slow pause I'm talking about, between 40 and 60, that I do not like on this car at all. So in a minute we'll resume taping, and we'll just go over the specs of the stopping and the speeding up. Alright guys, alright, so we're at 0 right now. We're going to go to 60 and a little over, and we're going to show you how it accelerates. So that was about 4 or 5 seconds, and then there's that little bit of lag, and then it goes over, and theirs is at 70. So that was about 7 to 10 seconds. It takes a while. Sometimes it's a little bit shorter, but for the most part, that's about what it takes. Once I get around this curve on the highway, we are going to do a 60 to 0 and show the stopping power of it and about how far it stops. That way in future videos, I'm going to change brakes on this thing so you guys can see the difference between the brakes that are on it now and what I'm going to put on it. So I'm going to run it at 60. Keep it constant. I'm going to come a little bit further, try to get down all the way to 60. A constant 60 about. So I'm running like 1 over, and then we're going hard brake. Let's see. Right about now. And that was a hard brake, and it took about maybe from 60, less than 50 feet to come down. Like, it stopped quick. I think that was about 50, maybe 50 to 100 is what it took. But when we put on new brakes, there was on the side of the road, we're going over a bridge. I stopped at 1, and it took me between 1 to 2, maybe a little over 2 to bring it to a full stop. So we're going to see how that goes when we switch brakes in another video. But that's the overview of this car, guys. Thanks for watching, and tune in for later videos. Thanks.